I'm not going to hold you up today. Today, I'm not on the screen, but this is a reaction video. If you're new, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're returning, let's get started.
So my ex-boyfriend killed my brother, and tomorrow makes a year since that bitch died. So I'm about to give you guys a story time. Now, this may be several parts because I am literally getting ready for a birthday dinner, and on top of that, we were together for 3 years, so bear with me. Plus, I talk a lot, so bear with me. So we got together in 2016, and honestly, things were rocky, but I was 17 at the time, so, you know, I don't know any better. And on top of that, he was really sweet, you know, and that's how narcissists get you. They're really sweet until they're fucking not, okay? So y'all really gotta pay attention to them fucking red flags. Also, my ex was definitely abusive. He was verbally abusive first, and I didn't see that as abuse, but it fucking is. And then in about 2019, he became physically abusive. Now, another thing, my ex-boyfriend was a scammer. Now, if you are from Miami, then you know. Listen, they love to apologize with the gifts, and trust me, ladies, it's not fucking worth it. Getting your ass beat is not worth Louis Vuitton and, you know, Givenchy and Dior and all those things. It's not fucking worth it, okay? If that nigga is beating your ass, you need to fucking leave. So anyways, fast forward to 2019 in our relationship, he definitely becomes a little more physically abusive, and I have a feeling he's cheating on me. And it's literally like one of the nights, like literally before a couple, maybe about a month before everything happened, somebody is calling his phone like crazy. And when I finally pick up the phone, guess what? They stopped calling. I was so mad because I'm like, bro, I could have answered and seen, and I would have known it was that bitch. That bitch is coming up later in the thing. By the way, she and I have no beef today. I'm just saying that's how I felt at the time, you know. But anyway, so yeah, I went to his house one day, right, a couple weeks before everything was happening, and I see a Volkswagen outside, and now I have a feeling inside that it's a girl, because let's be so for real, scammer in Miami is not driving a fucking Volkswagen. Exactly. Anyways, like I said, I pull up to his house and I see a Volkswagen, and he comes outside and he sees my car, bro. I have a fucking white Chevy, bitch. You saw my car. And he doesn't come to my car. Instead, he gets in the Volkswagen and he leaves. So I text him, I'm like, hey, I know you saw me. Like, where are you going? He's like, oh, me and my homeboy going to blah, blah, blah place. I don't fucking know. I don't remember. But yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I go home. Now, a couple of days before everything happens, we are play fighting in his room, and I like scratch his eye or something. I don't know, nothing serious though. And that nigga like pushes me and he starts beating on me. He's kicking me in my stomach and all of this stupid shit. And you know, what can I do at that point? Like, I was 115 pounds. There's not much I can do, you know. So, and I'm 5'3". So I left and I go to work, and then usually I would go to his house and sleep over. But that night, obviously, why would I sleep over? You just fucking beat my ass. So instead, I go home, and he's like, he texts me, he's like, oh, come sleep with me. And I'm like, yo, you just literally whooped my ass. Like, there's no way I'm coming over. You know, obviously, this is, like I said, he's been abusive before, so it's like a cat and mouse game, obviously, to him. Anywho, I don't go over. And the next morning he calls me, and I asked him about if I left something at his house, because the day before, or when everything happened, I left something and I couldn't find that thing, whatever. He's like, no, I don't have it. So I pull up to his house because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I left it here. And guess what I see, y'all? The Volkswagen. So anyways, who's standing outside of the Volkswagen? That bitch. Now, for the sake of the story, we're going to call that bitch Susie. So she's standing outside, and I go up to her, and I'm like, hey, who are you? And she's like, hey, I'm Susie. And she's like, who are you? And I'm like, well, I've been his girlfriend for the past 3 years. And she, you know, he's there, he's lying. He's like, no, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm like, girl, I got pictures, texts, like, what you want to see? Like, I can show you. Okay. So yeah, anyways, so me and Susie get in her car, and I start showing her all the evidence, because what the fuck do I have to lie for, bro? Like, be so fucking for real. And in 3 years, we have so many pictures and shit together. Like, don't piss me off right now, boy. So once I show her all the evidence, I go inside his house and his mom is there, and I'm telling her like, bro, your son has a whole nother bitch outside. Like, what the fuck? And you know, she's defending her son. Obviously, that's what narcissistic mothers do. And so, narcissist mother, I'm sorry, but whatever. Anyways, yeah. So she's defending her bum ass son, and I go back outside, and we're still going back and forth, and I like slap him or whatever. And Susie tries to get in the middle of this, and I'm like, hold on, girl, hold on. You're supposed to be on my motherfucking side. We both getting cheated on. What the fuck? Anywho. So they leave eventually, and I go back inside, and obviously I'm upset and all of this stuff, and I'm telling his mom what's going on, blah 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 blah. Eventually I leave because what am I doing here? You know, there's only so much a person can take. So I leave, and I decide that I'm gonna be officially done with all of this bullshit, because there's no way that I need to be doing all of this. Oh my god, this is hard. Hold on. That was a lot. Anyways, so yes, so I leave, and I'm getting a text from him, and he's like, I'm gonna call the police on you, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Anyways, and then Susie starts texting. Oh damn, your shoes a little too tight. Hold on. Alright, so anyways, he's texting my phone. Susie's texting my phone, talking about, oh, you took my stuff, blah blah blah. I didn't take your shit, bitch ass nigga. Anyways, so I go to work, and I get a text from an unknown number. It's another bitch he's cheating on me with, and this bitch is like, oh yeah, he's been my man for 5 years. So I just been getting cheated on my whole damn relationship, basically. That's what the fuck you're telling.
When she realized that that girl was still going to accept whatever he said, she should have left it alone right there.
So yeah, this girl starts texting me. She's like, oh, I'm gonna pull up to your job. We're gonna beat your ass, blah, blah, blah. No, the fuck you're not. Now, I'm not saying ugly people fight, but I just think I'm too pretty to be fighting. So I don't do that. However, comma, you're not gonna disrespect me, okay? And if I need to fight, I will. So this fucking bum ass bitch is like, oh, I'm gonna come to your job, blah, 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 blah. So I text my homegirls because, bitch, come to who job? Not mine. So, yes, I round up my homegirls, and I'm like, yo, this is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. We gotta beat this bitch ass. Anyways, I really have to go, but come back for part 2 when I beat this bitch's ass.
If only she would have walked away from this toxicness.
Glory boys, not that. Sauce baby, running on that set. Smoking on this dope.
So, like I said, I'm ready to beat this bitch ass, because she talking about, oh, we come to your job, blah, 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 blah. First of all, who the fuck is we? Second of all, I'm calling up my homegirls. Hello. So I call up my girls, Ray and Juicy, and we pull up to the job site that she was at. So now, the job that I was working at is multiple locations. So she pulled up to the wrong location. But that doesn't fucking matter. The fact that you had the fucking balls to pull up to my job, I'm going to whoop your ass. And remember Susie? Yeah, she was huffing and puffing too. She was like, oh, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Oh my god, so now I gotta fight 2 bitches tonight. But Susie later on, she backed out. She was like, ladies, I don't want this. Which, you know, at the time I'm just like, yeah, scary ass bitch. But looking back, Susie got out. She saw what was bigger than the motherfucking program. And I wish I would have got out earlier too, and maybe my brother would still be here. But anyways, back to the story. So like I said, there is multiple locations. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna meet her at the one she's at. But then as soon as I got there, I started thinking, I'm like, bitch, one band, one sound. Why would you fight outside your job? Yes, we're at a different location, but that doesn't matter. It's still the same thing. So I'm like, we're not even gonna do that. Now, my ex lived about 5 minutes from the current location. So I'm like, you know what? We're gonna take this shit to his house. Cause what the fuck? All of this shit is his motherfucking fault. So I did forget to mention that Susie, at one point, she also wanted to fight me too. So I'm like, oh my god, I gotta fight 2 bitches tonight. So that's another reason why I was like, let's take this shit to his house. Because you know what? There's no reason for me to be doing this, but all of you bitches want to disrespect me, so I'm gonna slap the shit out of all of you. So we pull up to his house, and he swears I can't fight because, like I said, that's just not my prerogative. That's not the first thing I want to do. I will argue with you up and down all day, every day. I don't give a fuck. But to get physical, it's not that serious. Come on. Why would I do that? But like, seriously, just a little sidebar. Like, I know I'm laughing and shit during all of this, but really none of this shit is funny. This is really heartbreaking. It's a really heartbreaking story. Like, losing my brother was one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with in my life. And the fact that I lost him to somebody that I thought that I loved. Well, I did love him, but I thought loved me back. Yeah. Anyways, That's his story. So we're outside his house now. I get out the car and I'm ready because, like, bitch, all this yapping at this point, like, I'm motherfucking heated. So I'm standing outside my car, and I kid you not, Ray, if you want, you could attest to this, please. But I'm literally on top of my car, arms folded, like, all right. And this bitch, she doing the most. She need to get ready. I don't need to do all of that. That's really irrelevant. Like, it's inappropriate. Not inappropriate, but it's not necessary. Like, girl, you want to fight or what? You was texting my phone doing all of this tap. So you want to fight or what? So I'm getting aggravated at this point because you doing too fucking much, bitch. So I just deck her right in her shit. Bah. Okay, we get to fighting. Now her fat ass friend tries to jump in. Yes, I did not mention she brought a friend. And so, I mean, I brought my friends too. But that's not the point. She brought a friend, and her fat ass fucking friend trying to jump in. And Ray and Juicy was like, bitch, back the fuck up. And they made sure ain't nail touch me. Thank ya. But yes, I'm doing this bitch in. I'm flipping her. I'm rocking her shit. All of that. Like I said, my ex thought that I could not fight, so he's shocked as fuck, right? And then her homegirl can't do nothing because, bitch, if you do something, I got 2 motherfucking homegirls for that ass, so don't even try it. So I'm whooping this bitch ass, and then it gets to a point where my ex, he tries to break it up. So as he's breaking it up, we're separated. And he got my arms, right? Because he could see, like, yes, I'm doing this bitch in. So he got my arm, and while he got one of my arms back here, this bitch socked me in my face. So now I am pissed even more. Like, I was already pissed, you know, and I was getting my anger down by whooping your ass, but now it's right back up here because how the fuck dare you? So I released myself from him, and I, you know, obviously I hit this bitch again, and then I'm like talking shit, and I'm like, you know what? And fuck you too, and I pop that nigga in his face. Now, I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed. So if that punch look weak, shut the fuck up. I'm not left-handed. Thank ya. So yeah, like I said, I definitely socked that dumbass nigga in his face, and he's mad. And then as soon as I sock him in his face, like, I turn around and I'm getting ready to walk away, go to my car, because at this point, what more can there be done? And he pulls out me and my girls. Like, you really that mad that your bitch just got beat up? Really?
As soon as he showed he had that other girl back, that was the end.
So yeah, like I said, he pulls out me and my girls, and so Ray sees this, and she pull out the pepper spray. She right in that nigga eye. Yeah, got his dumb ass, right? So me and my girls, we run into the car because, bitch, bullets don't have no eyes, and we need to get the fuck up out of here. So we get in the car, and I get in my car, and I okay. And I scurry back to my motherfucking job because I don't know if I mentioned, but all of this happens on my lunch break. Yeah. I'm gonna insert the clip of what I look like after my lunch break, actually.
Honestly, it's the simple fact that I'm still cute. Like, the fuck? Bitch, scratches where? Nowhere. Beat up where? Nowhere. The fuck?
So, as you can see in the video, I look fine. I look great. I look tea. Thank ya. And after this, I go back to work because, like I said, this all happened on my lunch break. A bitch gotta make some money. That's why I was very confused when he called me broke. Like, a bitch, maybe, but broke? Never that, baby. Holds one. Hold the fuck on. So yeah, I'm back at work. I'm working, and because this bitch already threatened to come to my job, my homegirls, they stay outside and they wait around because we don't know what these people planning. Like, they're fucking crazy. And on top of that, I left my phone with my homegirls. So throughout maybe about an hour or so, I don't have my phone on me. My homegirls got my phone. Obviously, they know where I work. That all they gotta do is come inside. Like, it's not that hard. So any messages that was happening while I was inside, I have no idea about. My friends were sending these girls on blank missions, like, meet us at this park, that park, that park. Whole time we were never going to those parks, but they were actually pulling up. Dumb bitch, wasting gas. What the fuck you want a part 2 for? Like, I already whooped your ass. But you want to get whooped again? That shit don't make no sense. Side note, so the day that my ex was beating my ass, like, for for the last time, I did finally tell my brother, because I really did deep down inside, I really wanted to be done and I didn't want to go back. So I finally told my brother what was going on. Obviously he's mad. So after all of this happens, so we're fast forward back to after the fight, by the way, sorry. So after the fight, like I said, I'm at work. My homegirls were outside. They're sending these girls on Blake missions. Meet us at this park, that park, that park. Whole time we are at none of those parks. I'm at work and my homegirls are here with me. So yeah, you wasted your time, stupid bitch. And then I finally get my phone back and I see like they was just blowing me up, right? So, and they continue to do that. And I'm not answering because it's like, what do you want at this point? Like, I already whooped your ass. Leave me alone. I don't want the man. I said you could have him. Like, let's just move the fuck on. But this girl is not doing that, okay? She don't want to move on. She still wants to fight. Because she got her ass beat. But anyways, so yes, this girl still wants to fight. She still wants to fight. And so, I finally just answered one of the phone calls because I'm just like, what the fuck? And this is where it gets very significant. This last phone call that I answer, she tells me that, oh, we coming to your house, blah, 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 blah. Now, mind y'all, I'm not home. And this is by the grace of God. Every night I got off of work at 1 a.m. For whatever reason, I got off of work at 2 a.m. this night. My ex knew what time I got off of work, obviously. So the girl calls me and she was like, we pulling up to your house. I'm gonna whoop your ass, blah, 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 blah. And I tell her straight up, bro, you can have him. I don't want him. Like, what is the point of us going back and forth anymore? In this whole phone call is maybe a span of 10 seconds, right? Hang up on you because I'm not in the mood. I call my brother because yes, I live in a gated community, but it's a number like code. As long as you know the numbers, you can get in. Nobody has to buzz you in. Obviously, he knows the numbers because he's my boyfriend and he's been here multiple times. So I'm genuinely concerned at this point because my family lives in my house. He knows like my apartment, all of that. So I call my brother and I'm like, hey, remember what I told you the other day that happened with what's his face? He and some girls are on the way to the house because basically this is what happened all day. Give him a brief rundown. So my brother, who was licensed to carry he goes outside and he's trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And this is the last time I ever speak to my brother. All right. Even though it's a very ugly cover up, that's the last time I ever spoke to my brother at 12:50 a.m. on October 10th. After we hang up, I don't know what happens. I get home and I have a really, really, really bad feeling about what's going on. But I go home and then it's crazy because I wasn't even trying to go home. I was really trying to go to my plug, but whatever. I go home and I see straight cop cars. And this is like right before, oh my God, I'm running out of time. Y'all gotta come back for part 3 and I'm gonna tell y'all how my brother passed away. My ex-boyfriend killed my brother and this is my story time. If you're just arriving to my page, I suggest you go and watch the other 2 parts so that way you're all caught up. Now that you're all caught up, I left off on saying that I was on the way home. And when I get home, there's a bunch of cop cars and one of my neighbors, who's a black man, he's sitting on the side of the curb. And the curb that I'm talking about is on the outside of the gate, so I'm not inside yet. So I speak to my neighbor and I'm like, you know, are you okay? Like, what's up? Like, what's going on? And he's just like kind of shaking his head and he doesn't really say much. And he looks like he's been crying, but I'm not really putting 2 and 2 together. So there's a bunch of cops that are on the other side of the gate and they're telling me that I can't drive in. So I have to park my car on the side. So I do that. And I walk to the gate, put in the code, get inside. And I'm asking the cops what's going on. So now that I'm inside the gate, I can see a bit clearer. And I look to the distance and I see a car. Now, I do wear glasses, but I'm not blind. But I can't really make out the car that I'm looking at, you know. And I see somebody on the floor. Now, I know my brother's clothes. Like, he has very distinctive blue shorts. You know, you could see them from a mile away. And I look and I see a body on the floor with blue shorts. Now, I'm asking the cops, who's that? What's going on? They're like, we don't know. I guess at that point they still hadn't identified my brother yet. I'm not sure. But I'm like, so I'm texting my brother and I'm calling him. Yeah, so I'm texting my brother and I'm calling him and I'm not getting an answer. So I go inside my house and I go in his bedroom and he's not there. So now I'm starting to freak out, right? Because what is going on? And my neighbor's wife, I guess, you know, since her husband was outside, she's still up, I don't know. But she opens the door. And I'm asking her, I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Have you seen my brother? And she's just like, she's shaking her head at me and stuff. And at this point, I'm on the phone with one of my homegirls, not the two that I mentioned, but a different one, because she was the only one awake at the time. And she heard when the woman tells me, my neighbor's wife, who's obviously my neighbor as well, whatever, she tells me that my brother has passed away. So obviously I scream because it's like, what are you talking about? And time wise, it's about like 2:15, 2:20 in the morning, right? I said the last time I spoke to my brother was 12:50. I texted him around 1 something, but I didn't get a response. But I didn't think nothing of it. So, you know, it's only been an hour since the last time I reached out. So it's like, what the hell? In less than 2 hours from me speaking to my brother, you're now telling me he's dead. I don't know if any of you guys have seen a dead body, but it's something you can't take out of your brain, all right? So to see my brother, thank God I didn't see him up close, but to see my brother laid out on the floor, dead, and I can't do nothing. Nobody can do anything. That is an image, one, that I can never take out of my brain. And two, that's like a feeling that is unexplainable. Seeing your loved one in a state and you can't do anything about it. They're just incapacitated and you just gotta fucking deal with it. And you guys are probably like, well, how did your brother die? Well, he was shot in the head. I don't know if I can say that on TikTok, so I am gonna try to bleep that out. But yes, that is how my brother died. My ex-boyfriend did that to him. And really, when I look at the time frame that everything happened, my brother passed away at 1:20 or 1:15 a.m. I'm not too sure at the time at this very moment, but somewhere between that time frame. And I was supposed to get off. If you watch the other two parts, I usually get off of work at 1 a.m. I spoke to my brother at 12:50. If I was still getting off work, I would have never called my brother. I would have just went home and I would have just dealt with those girls and my ex. Well, not by myself, I would have called my friends, but I would have just dealt with that at that time. Like I said, by the grace of God, I got up at 2 o'clock. So I truly wholeheartedly believe that that bullet was really meant for me, not my brother. I just got off at the wrong time. Well, the right time, but the wrong time for them. So in total, it was 3 girls that pulled up to my house. I guess they went and got another girl to even the playing field, since it was me and my friends. I don't know. I don't really care. And my ex. So that's 4 people. They all lied. Okay? They lied. They're fucking liars. They all lied and said that I invited them to my house. That never fucking happened. I was at work. Why the fuck would I invite you to my house if I'm at work? But they all lied and said that that's what happened. Therefore, my ex never went to jail. It was considered self-defense because he was not trespassing since I invited him, but that is not what happened. They lied. I never, ever, ever invited those motherfuckers to my house. I was at work, so why would I invite you to my house? Yes. So there was never justice for my brother. However, that bitch is dead. So a win is a win. So I never spoke to my ex again. I never spoke to him since October 10th, 2019. That's the last time I ever spoke to that man. That's the last time I ever spoke to those girls. I don't know what's going on in their lives. I don't know what's happening. I just know that motherfucker is dead. So if you smoke, make sure you smoking on that Nate pack tonight, okay? Mwah.
See, this is exactly the reason why a lot of people don't tell their family members, their loved ones, what's going on behind closed doors when it comes to domestic violence, because her brother lost his life. These people literally lied. Because first of all, why would she invite anybody to her house when she's at work? That don't even make sense. I hope the investigators properly investigated this whole situation, because like she said, her friends had her phone while she was at work. They could have checked the time clock at her job to see was she really at work. Like, how did this man get away with murdering her brother with self-defense and not trespassing when it literally was? He's not on a lease. Regardless if he was invited, he came to the house to start a fight with 3 other people. This is not making sense, and this is devastating. Unfortunately, her brother paid a price of something that she should have gotten out a long time ago. I feel like he was using her for some type of reason. I don't know what it was for, but 3 years to play these games with her, 5 with another girl, and the other, like, I just feel like he was using her, because he showed her more than one time that he didn't fool with her like that. And for him pulling out a gun on her, her friends showed that he did not like her like that. He was using her for either her body or money. I don't know what it was, but baby, this was a slap in the face. You guys, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. If you are new here, look, I do reactions on and off the screen. So if you like that type of content, don't forget to subscribe and join the family. And if you are returning, you know how we like to do it. Let's like, comment, and share. I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.